Hi Tony, haven't seen you in ages, so I thought I'd post a little response to your gaming piece video. I don't really have much of an opinion on achievements because I don't have Xbox Live, but we do have achievements on Warcraft. They're kind of fun. It's good when you're bored, nothing else to do. That you get achievements for the most pointless things. You brushed your teeth, achievement. Ask anybody what their favourite game is. That's such a difficult question. If I have to pick a couple of games though that I would rank up there as my favourite, first one would probably be Final Fantasy IX. I know a lot of people don't like Final Fantasy IX because it's very different from all the rest, but it's my favourite. I love it, and I will never love Final Fantasy VIII, so you'll just have to take it. The other one which competes very much with Final Fantasy for me is Kingdom Hearts. I'm sure a lot of people have played this game. It's just so easy to play, it's just so much fun. You can pick it up and play it whenever you want. It's just such a great game, I love it. Next on my list is Resident Evil. This is actually the remake for the GameCube. Which I think is a lot better than the first one, and I think there's a lot of people out there that would agree with me. It's much, much better than the original game. There's so much more added content, it's a lot scarier. I love Resident Evil, it's a great series. My favourite console is actually a strange one. Normally it would be something like Atari or PS2 or Xbox or something like that, but no. On Nintendo 64, I should have said that one first really. My favourite console is the GameCube. It's just, look at it, it's so small and it has a handle. It has a handle. My favourite game character. Well, if I find it difficult to pick a favourite game, imagine how difficult it is for me to pick a favourite character. There's so many to choose from, I'm not going to say Sephiroth, I'm not going to say Cloud. I love Final Fantasy VII, don't get me wrong, but come on, get over it. I love Talim from Soul Calibur. I love Jill Valentine from Resident Evil because she's so hot and she kicks ass with a gun. I love Vivi from Final Fantasy IX because she's so cute. I hate Garnet though, she's a pain in the ass. What do I think of Teletext and Game Central closing down? I don't really think anything about it because I never really use Teletext except to check the weather. So I didn't actually know there was a Game Central. So yeah, I don't really care because I never used it. Sorry. Well, considering that I'm 22, I don't think I'm going to remember the gaming community from when I was 2 years old. But my first real proper gaming experience was my Game Gear. That was my first real console. I know it's not like an N64 or a Commodore or anything like that, but for me it was important, and it was such a great handheld game console, and I actually still have it. This is my Game Gear with all my games. I've lost a lot of the little pieces that used to go with it, but I got it when I was about 7, and I still love it. It's brilliant. It's quite heavy, and it used to eat batteries like crazy, but I love the Game Gear. The attitude has completely changed towards gaming. Anybody plays it now. There's just so many games out there. It's just the norm now. I honestly don't know how the gaming world will be in 10 years. It's just so unpredictable. You don't know what kind of advancements they're going to come up with in the next 10 years. I mean, people will probably say things like, oh, virtual reality and more realistic. And I really don't care. I'm quite happy to just take it as it comes. I can't really remember any TV shows for games, because I'm pretty sure when there were TV shows on TV about games, I wasn't really that much into it, or I'd be too busy playing a game to actually watch TV. The only sort of show that I ever really watched was a program called Game Guru, which was on a random Sky channel, channel 900 or something like that. It was basically just a guy on his webcam, and people would text in asking for help with games, like cheats and tricks and things. So yeah, I used to watch Game Guru. If it's not on anymore, then I'd love them to bring it back, because it was a great show to watch. But then I suppose the internet has really killed it, because if you want a cheat now, you can just go on the internet. Well, I'm kind of sort of half and half about Sony, because they brought us the PS1 and then they brought us the PS2. You know, those are two great consoles, and they brought us so many games. If it wasn't for the PS1, we wouldn't have had most of Final Fantasy. Well, 7 came out on the PC, but that doesn't matter. I loved my PS1. It was my first proper, you know, real sort of console, apart from my Game Gear. It was the first time that I realised that I really enjoyed playing games. So the PS1 meant everything to me. Unfortunately, they brought out the PS3, which I refused to buy. And unfortunately, they're also bringing out a lot of games through PS3 only. Why do that? That's just so unfair. You know, why should I have to own every single console that's out there? Why do I have to? I don't want to. I'm happy. I have an Xbox 360. I don't need a Wii. I don't need a PS3. I'm happy enough. They're bringing out Final Fantasy 13 in Japan at the end of this year, and obviously it's going to be out here next spring sometime. Now, Final Fantasy 13 itself is going to be multi-platform, but Final Fantasy 13 Versus is going to be PS3 only. Now, I want to play Final Fantasy 13 Versus. So this means I have to buy a PS3. Most people would probably say Final Fantasy 7, because I would like to see them bring that back. I mean, the polygon count in that game is horrendous. You know, they don't have fingers, they have clubs for hands. So yeah, that would be really cool if maybe Square Enix would, you know, maybe do a remake of Final 7. But I'm sure it's not high on their agenda at the minute. Just something really random from the old days, you know, like Zool or something like that. That would be just so much fun. Something really old and that you wouldn't expect. Zool! Games to movies aren't really very successful. They often give off the wrong idea about the game as well. Resident Evil is a really good example of a game franchise that, you know, got adapted into movies. Now, the first film isn't so bad. I actually quite like the first film, mainly because it could almost be a part of the game story. It could have been like a little side story, and it fits in quite well. It's quite an enjoyable film too, which is good. But I haven't seen the third one, but I have seen the second one, and I'm completely appalled by the second film. It's just ridiculously stupid. And it just ruins it. And there's so many people out there that I talk to who think that the Resident Evil games are from the movies, not the other way round. Get it right, people. The games came first. The games are amazing. I quite like the Tomb Raider movies. I'm a big fan of Tomb Raider. It was one of the first sort of game franchises that I got into. Angelina Jolie's a really good Lara Croft. I can't complain there. They didn't really take the stories too far. Pretty good. Silent Hill is kind of okay. It's not too bad. It's got Sean Bean in it. That's enough for me. So yeah, I really would like to see them do something a little better. Maybe actually involving the actual storyline for once, rather than just sort of basing it on the games, because then it would be a lot more interesting, I think. Bye, Tony.